Here's why school is not for black kids and why I need to teach you your history. Let me introduce you to the United Daughters of the Confederacy, which is a sister group to the KKK. Their job was to infiltrate school boards and change the narrative to their liking. This includes the Civil War or anything that didn't fit the agenda. These ladies were so successful, the social study book wouldn't be published until they approved it first. They operated from the late 20th to early 21st century, and they're supposedly out of commission. But they are part of the reason why the Second Amendment is taught two different ways. One was because of Revolutionary War. The real reason is because they need to keep slaves in check. Okay? The only people lynched in history were black people. When in fact, the biggest lynching in history was Italian. Well, one of the biggest. Native Americans got lynched. Indians got lynched. Irish got lynched. Germans got lynched. Chinese people got lynched. Indians. Let's go to a clearer lie that makes a little bit more sense. The Dixie flag was for Southern pride. Why did that teach us in school? We don't know. But let's talk about it. Clearly, it was. Okay, Christopher Columbus founded America. This story is told because immigrants were being lynched. Unable for them to join white society, they fantasized the story of Columbus, even though when he went back home, he went to jail for it. Here's the reason why that story was accepted. This man was also this man, King Atlas. Same Atlas of Atlantis, okay? That's Mediterranean. Mediterranean, which at this time was, of course, this place. That same man was accredited for making this, which proved the world was round. Who also was this man that founded America. It's one of the reasons why this can't be carbon dated, and they're all buried underneath the ground, then all the heads point towards the sea. You don't learn about this because stuff like the Berlin Conference, the same church this man fought Martin Luther, and the fact that that church put the first slaves in America. The only real reason we learn about this stuff now is because we're allowed to learn, and the accessibility to learn is so free. And part of that help came from people like this, Herodotus. He gave us wonderful, accurate stories about stuff like this. He gave credit and said all North Africans, or Ethiopians, were burnt-faced or black. That includes Egyptians, at least to him at that time. And he also thought the sub-Saharan wasn't inhabitable, meaning no one could live there at that time. So everybody in North Africa was black. He also said Hercules and Zeus came from Egypt. And then, of course, Egypt has some of the best medicine or magic at that time. Let's focus back on school, because that's one narrative. Let's talk about the other narrative, keeping you oppressed. School funding is not based on the need to learn, rather the property value of the area. And here's the issue with that. Redlining or red zoning, which in layman term is keeping the poor and keeping the rich, or keeping colored people where you want. This system was so effective, Hitler himself adopted the system. Basically, you're not going to get a better education because they don't want you to.